So far, we have discussed what is the culture, what is civilization, and how many cultures were there across the world in the name of caste or race, how across the world it was there in a different way. It is there in every religion, in every reason. But behind all these things, please understand, in Indian culture, even though it is there as a caste system, as I mentioned that there is no specific word called caste before the Britishers. It is called Varnashrama. People used to call Varnashrama Dharma. So Varnashrama based on their guna and karma that was given. And in Indian culture, a special opportunity also is there. What is that? Everyone can be any varna. That means by jatasyahi, by birth, everyone is a Shudra, but based on the samskaras, based on the character, based on your values, you can be a Vaishya or a Kshatriya or a Brahmana. If you choose to be a teacher, so you are called Brahmana. If you choose to be a business person, you are called Vaishya. If you choose to be a protector, taking care of the society as a politician or maybe like a police, any other things. So you are decided that you want to become a Kshatriya. So that opportunity was given. It is there for everyone. Everyone can be any varna depending upon what they are doing, what is their attitude. So guna, karma, remember that. So there is no specific brand image for that this particular person belongs to this particular varna. It can be changed at any given time and situation. But what happened over a period of time, some hundreds and hundreds of years of the time, the one who is taken birth in one particular family is from the childhood onwards started observing the parents. So obviously this person will be interested to do what the parents are doing. And another way, the parents also, out of their own love toward their own children, whatever they are doing their profession, they used to teach to their children, because the children are available from the right from childhood. So you observe, I can give my own example. When I was in my hometown, when I was studying in a school, during the holidays time, so we don't want to sit in the home. Then we used to say, I want to go with father, I want to go with the father. So generally children will go with the father and they will sit in the shop. And when this fellow is sitting in the shop, he will not keep quiet now. He will be watching this one, he will be looking at this, that. In between, he will also go and give something and sitting on the cash counter that, this is my father place, I am the owner. Come on, you give money, I will put into the drawer and I will give this. You can observe that's what the children will do and the parents will take. So by the childhood onward, this fellow will be having some inclination. Oh, this is a thing, money I'm going to give. People are coming and respecting me. They are giving the 100 rupees. I'm putting into the drawer in the galla and giving the remaining 50 rupees. So this fellow feels so proud. And father also, hey, my son is so intelligent. See, look at how he is doing all these things. So when the people started praising, obviously this fellow started growing into that interest. So hence, because of these things and because of some other circumstances, these people also started continuing this parents' profession. And these children, when they become the parents, obviously they are also handing over to their profession to their children. So like this, over a period of time, over a period of generations to generations, it is becoming very strong. That is the reason why it is becoming very strong. Again, today now you can see so many changes are taking place. Today, no priest son is not interested to become a priest. Very few priest children are become a priest. Because I have seen my own family priest. He is having the two sons. All the two sons are settled in America. They are wearing the short and t-shirt, walking in the streets, doing some jobs. So gone. Now that person from the Brahmana stage became the Vaishya. or maybe Shudra, because he's not having his own company, he's only helping others working there. So out of their interest, what happened to that person? So Brahmana state, he became a Shudra state. Still what we call is a Brahman. Because by birth he is taken a birth in a family. So there are some people, now you look at our Srinivas Reddy Garu is also doing some great service. They go and teach some how to do bhajans and how to do the pujas in the temples and other things. There are so many common people are coming and learning how to do the pujas, and these people can be appointed in some of the places, some of the temples, and they can do the pujas, simple pujas. They are called Brahmanas. Even though by birth they may having the different things, but by karma, by guna, they are becoming a Brahmanas. So please understand this, that facility is there only in Indian culture, only in our Sanatana Dharma. Unfortunately, we are not aware of these things, and the few people, so-called modern political leaders, will take an advantage for their vote bank, and they maintain us like that only. Because of these challenges, still today in India, we are in this state. Otherwise, we don't have any problems, any issues. Previously Britishers, now our political leaders. Nothing is changing. Only the color is changed. The skin is changed. Previously the white fellow, now black fellow, nothing else. So let us not discuss more about this. This is good enough for you to thought provoke in your mind to think and analyze. And this culture is having the material culture as well as the mind culture. In this unit, we will be introducing to material aspect of Indian culture, myths of Aryan invasion theory, and Saraswati Valley civilization. So under this material culture, so it is going back to the Aryan invasion theory, and also there is a one more thing called Saraswati civilization, Saraswati Ganga. So Saraswati Valley civilization, these two things plays important role to understand the material culture only. So under the Saraswati civilization, very interesting points are there. There's so much history, and this is good enough for us to remember these two names about the Saraswati civilization and Aryan. So I will do the summary of this one. There is no evidence that the cities of the Indus Valley civilization were destroyed by invaders, but they were very likely deserted by their inhabitants because of the drying up of local rivers and the desertification of the area. I'm seeing the summary, page number 102. The Indian and Vedic literature do not mention any invasion or migration, but on the contrary, give genealogical of Indian rulers that go back thousands of years. The geographical area, climate, fauna, and flora described in the Vedic literature correspond to those of the Indus civilization. There is also a striking continuity between the artifacts and technology found in the Indus cities and those of later Indian society and culture. In the Vedic literature, the term Arya in a Sanskrit, which means noble, is never used to designate a particular race, but more a group of people who act in a civilized way. In the olden days, people, when they used to write a letters also, they used to mention first Arya. Because I remember when my father used to make me to write this postcard to his friends or relatives, I'm telling the information about the 30 to 35 years ago. He used to make me to write first Arya Namaskaramlu. Arya is the first word. Arya means a noble person. Whoever it may be we are addressing, we used to call the Arya, noble. Anyone could become an Arya provided he behaves properly. One who is having the proper character, proper culture, that person can be addressed as an Arya. Just as any Aryan could lose that status by misbehaving. If that person is not behaving properly, So you will not called Arya, you will called Anarya. Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he addresses the Arjuna. Anarya Jushtam Aswargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. You are behaving opposite to like a Arya, so you will become an Anaryam, Akirtim. When you don't do your duty, you are called Anarya. From the Bhagavad Gita point of view, when Krishna addressed it to the Arjuna. So the Aryan civilization means a noble people. Okay. So astronomical information contained in the Vedic literature reveals that these scriptures are much older than the Western scholars had taught. Our scriptures are much older than the Western scriptures, and Western scholars thought our scriptures are recent because they don't have idea. So once they started finding out, studying the things, they came to an understanding that the scriptures are much older than the Western scholars had thought. The date of the Rig Veda is now pushed back to 3000 BC. 3000 BC means now we are in the 2022 AD. So this is 2020 plus 3000. That means 5020 years back. Rig Veda, according to the Western scholars. This is not according to our Indians. And we say it is more than that. 10,000 years. At least we should feel happy that Western scholars are recognized. Our scriptures are 3000 BC. Means 5000 years ago. Now look at how when our culture was there, when the knowledge was there, and now we are in a 2022 thinking that all these cultures and other religious things so great. Ours is there 5000 years ago, according to the Western scholars, not according to Indians. The Saraswati River was for a long time one of the greatest mysteries of the Vedic scholars. Till today, people are not able to trace it properly, completely. Of course, now science is developed. Many people started tracing this with the help of the science and the technology. The Saraswati River disappears in the Himalayas near the Badrinath, where when you see there, you can, when you visit the Badrinath, there you can see this is Saraswati River, people says, near the Bhim Guha. And from there, it disappears and it is flowing under the earth, not on the top, it is going under this. So it is described in almost every Vedic text. About the Saraswati River, it is mentioned in all our scriptures. It is described in almost every Vedic text as a mighty river in the northwest of India, one whose banks important Aryan settlement were located. So recent geological evidences shows that the river began to dry up around 3000 BC. Again, 3000 BC means 5000 years ago, and had completely disappeared by 1700 BC. 1700 means you add 2020 now. So that means 3900 BC back, 3900 years ago. So if the Aryans invaded India by 1500 BC, how could they describe a river that did not exist at that time? Interestingly enough, a great number of cities of the Indus civilization and the Aryan civilization are non-different. So why this topic is mentioned here? In the modern times, many people talks about the civilization, Aryan civilization. They says the Indians, whoever are Indians, are not the Indian. They came from the different places, so they are settled here. Then they project the Aryan civilization. And in the Aryan civilization, it is mentioned about the Saraswati River. And this our book says, how can they mention when it was there before them? Some 5000 years ago, it was there, it is happened. And when they came, when the Aryans invaded, that time Saraswati River is no more. No more means is it dried up according to the scriptures. Then how can they mention about the Saraswati River? So hence there is a debate. Till today, there is a debate is going on about the Aryan civilization. Some will be pro, some will be against for that. So there is a debate. So let us not entering into the debates. Please understand one thing, our culture is so great. It was there some thousands and thousands of years onwards. It is coming. The only thing we don't know about our own self. That is a conclusion. This is about the material culture. Now, when you look into the mind culture, so this mind culture is very, very important for us because as a yoga teachers, yoga is a topic which deals about the mind. If you look at the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, it is a mind management. So hence, let us understand this mind culture little elaborately. We know from the science of anthropology that when a group achieves a measure of stability and security in the material base of its culture through settled agriculture and industry, thus allowing for a certain amount of leisure, it tends to invest this surplus leisure in the higher plane of man's inner life, thus giving rise to the second aspect of its culture, namely mental culture and mind culture. To understand to this first paragraph, I would like to quote Swami Vivekananda's quotation. Swami Vivekananda says, if any person is starving, don't teach the Vedanta. First, you give some food. Let that person have some food. Let his stomach will be full. Then you teach the Vedanta or scripture that person can understand. So with the empty stomach, if you are trying to study something, if you are trying to understand the scriptures, you may not able to understand because mind is going towards only the stomach. Oh, I am feeling hungry. I am feeling hungry. This class is not never ending. When this class will complete it so that I can go and have my breakfast, I can go on my lunch. So people cannot listen. Now look at our Swami is talking with someone else there instead of listening to the class. Yeah? That's what happens when the material is not fulfilled, mental will not come into the picture. So hence, after once when you complete the material fulfillment means, wow, now I don't have any problem for my kana kapda makan. Now I don't have any problem for my clothes. I don't have any problem for my stay, my accommodation. I don't have any problem for my food. So once when this assurance is came, then what this person will think, okay, let me develop some creativity. Let me do something higher than these things in my life. Let me also help others. Let me cultivate, let me study the scriptures, let me study this, let me do that, let me do that. Because the basic things are comfortably is given to you. The basic things are there with you. So you don't worry. Na? For example, if you don't have the food properly, and if you don't have the place to stay, and if you don't have the clothes properly, and if I am asking you, hey, come and do the teachers training program, listen to this class. I am going to talk about the Indian culture. Sit in the class and listen. What you do, sir? After listening the class, can you going to provide the food to me? If you provide the food, I will sit in the class. Sir, after listening the class, can you give the clothes to me? Then I will listen. After listening the class, can you give a shelter to me? I will listen. Then if you say, yes, yes, I will do. Why don't you give in the first, sir? Afterwards, I can listen. Because mind is the basic things. We cannot deny about these things. For every person, this common three things has to be taken care. Even though you are a great yoga teacher or any other thing, the basic things one have to take care. Not only for yourself, whomever you have taken the responsibility of your family, it is compulsory. It has to be taken care. Even though you all are yoga teachers, becoming yoga teachers, it does not mean that you give up everything and you just do the things for others. No, you need to take your basic things. That is a common. That is also part of your responsibility. Take care your family commitment. Whatever the commitment you have taken, you are given, you need to take care. Then you work it on for others. So here is this paragraph says the same thing. Once the material comfort are gained, now that we will be thinking about the mind culture. We will be discussing about the mind and its modes of Indo-Aryan, the philosophical aspects of their life, and a brief introduction to the rich Vedic literature under the mind culture. The literary work of the Vedic land raises many eyebrows. The four Vedas and the Upanishads are the remarkable books. Under the mind culture comes the four Vedas and the Upanishads. Now, what are the four Vedas? I hope you all know, but I am not sure. But I don't want to ask you now, because if I have to ask you, I have to spend so much time. So the four Vedas are Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. This Atharva Veda is also called Atharvana Veda. For almost 3000 years, there was absolute peace in the Vedic land. No major wars, and so it was possible for the people to meditate, to speculate, and to come out with the famous Granthas, the Vedas and the Upanishads. The Upanishads are the backbone of the Vedic culture. What is the backbone for our Vedic culture? This is an objective question for you. The Upanishads are the backbone for the Vedic culture. They have retained their pristine purity due to commentaries by the great people. So, who are those great people who wrote the commentaries on these Upanishads? Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and Madhvacharya. Among these three acharyas, Shankaracharya wrote the commentary on all the 10 Upanishads. We don't see the Ramanujacharya's commentaries on all the 10 Upanishads. Even though Ramanujacharya quoted the Upanishads while writing the commentary in the Brahma Sutras, in the Bhagavad Gita, but we don't find these things. So Shankaracharya is the one who wrote the commentaries on Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras, which is three together is called Prasthana Traya. Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad together is called Prasthana Traya. This is a technical word, please remember. So while writing the commentary, Shankara established the Advaita, Ramanujacharya established the Vishishtadvaita, Madhvacharya established the Dvaita. This is the thing, don't differentiate these great Mahatmas. All are the great Mahatmas, great Acharyas for us. But depending upon the society, depending upon the people's mental status, they are given the commentaries to uplift the people. That in that way, if you look at, so we don't have any issue. The ancient Vedic society believed in living with nature. Ancient civilizations know that every individual was a part of this creation, that it has its own place. That is the reason why in ancient India, everything was worshipped. We worship the trees, we worship the animals, we worship the water, we worship everything. Trees are worshipped in the Kartika Masa. We worship the Amla tree, and we worship the snakes on Nagula Panchami. We worship this what is called rat on the Vinayaka Chauthi. The idea behind is to worship all these things, to recognize the Ishvara in them, the presence of the Lord in every being. That is our culture. We never see the like a tree, just like a tree. It is a devata for us, Vruksha Devata. All the animals, Gomata. River also we worship Mother Ganga, Mother Godavari, and we do the Arati also for that. So everything is worshipped because that is the reverence given to every being in the universe, in our, that is our culture. So for the farmer, the snake was his great friend who would protect his crops from the damages caused by the rats and other rodents. Every animal and plant have a place in human life or human society. And the fact was very well recognized by the ancient people. Therefore, they know how to live with nature. An example from Yaqui Indian culture makes this point very clear to us. So, the drug addiction is the biggest problem the world is facing today. Young people taking to drugs at a very young age. There is an interesting story in support of the fact that the ancient civilizations worship nature and know the way to live in nature. When Carlos Castaneda went to the settlement of Yuki Indians, became a disciple of Don John, who tells him how to take cannabis without getting intoxicated. Don John takes Carlos with him to the forest. He shows him a plant and says, "This is the cannabis flower." He tells Carlos to kneel before the plant, apologize to the plant, pray to the plant before plucking the flower. See, look at the Indian culture. Before plucking the flowers, people used to pray the plant. How to pray? Oh, plant, I am sorry. I have to hurt you, but I will take one flower from you. Please pardon me. What do we do these days? Just we'll go and pluck the flowers. So before plucking the flower, pray the tree because it is going to get hurt. Oh, tree. So you need not to do like a oh loudly. In the mentally also, if you do that is good enough. So please pardon me, and the plant will pardon that person. He is asked to pluck 6 flowers, keep them on the left hand without dropping on the floor. Bring them home, put in a mortar, and again pray before crushing them. Make into small pellet, which sitting in meditative posture and to pray to the pellet, be in a deep meditation, and there will be no addiction and no effect. Why? The plants have life. The flower as consciousness. You as a human being with the consciousness are hurting another being with consciousness. So at least apologize for the act. If you apologize for the act, automatically the plant will pardon you, the flower will pardon you. What a wonderful message and a lesson is received. This is the Indian culture. This is a mind culture. That is the reason before eating the food, we do the prayer, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi. See, doing the prayer is nothing but saying the thanks to the people whoever is involved, right from the farmer onwards, one who is cultivating the land, not Lese Kanundi, till the person who served in our plate. So in between the miller will come, the hamali will come, the shop owner will come, our mother will come, our servant will come. All these people we are recognizing, saying the thanks to them because all of you made together to get this food to me. Never think, this is my money. With my money, I got purchased. I am eating. I order in the Swiggy. Swiggy boy delivered it to me because it is my money. So I am eating my food. Why should I pray? Without farmer, who will buy? You will experience after a couple of decades. We may not able to see that one, our generation, because these days the lands are already cutting. So many lands are going away. So cultivation will become less over a decades of time, not now. That will not happen for in our generation. Maybe another after 60, 70 years afterwards. Definitely this scarcity will start coming. So people will be only drinking the water and enjoying the life. No food for eating. So that will become very costly, richest. Because no food. Where are the agricultural lands? So all these things takes place. So the mind and mood of the Indo-Aryans, but this heaven is an idealism from the sensuous life on earth, or frankly, world. Okay, the mood and mind of a Indo-Aryan, the ancient Indian thinkers and the modern scientists. So very interesting points are there here. Early Indian scientists, like the modern scientists, posited a self-evolving cause behind the entire universe. An important outcome of this is what the ancient Indian thinkers refer to as a non-difference between cause and effect. Effect is only cause in another form. The effect is the gross form, of which the subtle form is the cause. All things and events in nature, including man, are subject to this cause and effect process. Nothing happens arbitrarily or haphazardly by rational, objective, and investigation. Man can unravel the sense the cause or causes of events, and again control over the nature's process. So everything in the universe is a cause and effect. Because of one cause, there will be some effect. So you take care the cause, effect will be neutralized. For example, if you are having a headache, so find out what is the cause for my headache. There may be a couple of reasons. One reason could be indigestion. One reason could be some stress and so much tension. There may be some other reasons. Example, say this two is good enough for us. If for your headache is the cause is the indigestion, you take care the digestion properly so that headache is gone. If your headache is causing because of the stress and tension, you take care the stress and tension by practicing the pranayama and other things, so headache is gone. So whenever you are having any particular issue, find out the cause. So work it on the cause. That cause will be, the cause is handled, effect will be taken care. A second point of the close kinship between the ancient, the evolutionary process and not the creation of an extra cosmic dietary. So there are certain points are given for us to ancient Indian thinkers how to progress our life, how to evaluate ourselves like a maturity from the one level to the higher level. For example, now you are starting the asanas. From the simple asanas, you need to evolve to do the more other asanas. From the more other asanas, you need to evolve to practice the pranayamas. Within the pranayama, you should be able to do some advanced pranayamas. Then you need to go towards the meditation. This is the evaluation process, not the creation. You need to evolve. So what is the difference between the scientist and a Rishi? The scientist is a modern word, Rishi is an ancient word. Modern scientists are trying to discover from external objects, like a Newton. He found why apple is falling down. So he started inquiry, he discovered the gravitation. Before the Newton also, the apples are falling down only, okay? In our village, our mangoes are falling down only, never going up. But he was interested, curious, why it is falling down, why not going up? Externally interested, Bhautika Paranga. So he discovered the gravitation. So he became a scientist. Then who is called Rishi? The Rishi is the one who is also interested to discover, but not why apple is falling down. Then what is interest? What happens to me after my death? Before my birth, where I was? Who am I? Am I this body? Or am I this mind? Am I this intellect? Who am I? So this was the inquiry topic, the PhD topic for our rishis. So they did the meditation, they made their mind itself is a laboratory. They discovered the truth, they done the sadhanas without any external instruments. With their own, they made their mind itself is an instrument, the laboratory, and they discovered the truths and they are given to us. So that is the difference between the scientist and rishi. Rishis are called scientist. Ancient scientist is called rishi. The modern rishi is called scientist. So scientist, never underestimate the scientist. Scientist means is a great person. How much concentration is required, you know, the one pointedness towards that. But the only difference is the finding of a certain truth is a different. This person is interested outside thing. Other person is interested to find out the cause. For example, recently we all have, still it is going on, this corona. There are some scientists are working on, they developed the vaccination. Because when the corona comes, these are the particular problems. So that to remove those problems, they created the vaccine. So to improve the immune system. This is a science. And there is another scientist who will be working on till what is the source for this corona. So once when I find out the source of this corona, the source itself, the cause itself, I can neutralize. This is the difference. One is interested to, both are required for us, both are important. Never say that this is correct, that is not correct. No, both are important. but we should know the difference. This is the thing. Okay, now we are going to look into the, now means the next session we will look into the Sanatana Dharma, uh, starting the page number 107, where we will discuss more elaborately Vedas, scriptures, and other things. Okay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyid Dukkha Bhagvavet, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat Om Om. Thank you.